Hello students. So today we are going to start with a new topic, that is microorganisms, right? So students, let us begin with the class. So our second chapter, that is microorganisms, friends and foe. So the name itself tells you that how microorganisms act as a friend as well as foe, means enemy, for human beings as well as other organisms, right students? Yes. So this is our biology topic number 2, that is microorganisms, friend and foe. So as you go further with the topic, it will become more interesting, right? Because it deals with our day-to-day life activities and the substances we use daily in our home. And we will also come to know at the end of the topic that how these microorganisms, they act as a friend as well as enemy for human beings as well as other organisms. So this is presented by myself, Mrs. Manisha Kulkarni. Okay students, so you might have seen a lot of plants and animals around you, right? So students, there are some organisms, living organisms around us which we cannot see with our eye, and they can be only seen with the help of microscope or magnifying glass, and that is why they are called as what? Microorganisms, or we also called it as what? Microbes. So you see so many pictures over here. Yes, there are a lot of pictures over here which shows you different kinds of microorganisms, and they are very small. They are in a micro size, and that is why they cannot be seen with our unaided eye, and that is why we need a magnifying glass or microscope. So they are very small organisms which cannot be seen with the unaided eye, and that is why they are called as what? Microorganisms. So they may be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular means single-celled organism, and multicellular means having so many cells, multi-cells, right? So these microorganisms, they may exist alone or in colonies. You can find them alone or you can also find them in a group. Okay. So microorganisms are found in all kinds of environment. They are found everywhere, like ice cold climate, then hot springs, deserts, marshy lands, etc. So they are also found inside the bodies of other organisms, means they are also found in human beings. So these organisms, they exist everywhere. They are everywhere. So students, where do these microorganisms live? That is, we have already seen. They are either single cell like bacteria, some algae and protozoa, or multicellular such as algae and fungi. They can survive under all types of environment, means they are very readily, they have ability or capability to survive in any kind of environment. So students, are you able to survive in any kind of environment? No. If you go to some ice cold climate, how do you feel? You feel very cold inside. You're not able to survive there, right? You feel very difficult, right? And when you go to hot springs or deserts to marshy lands, there you find yourself very insecure, because you belong to some kind of environment where you follow, where you are able to survive there, right? Because you have been adapted to that climate. But this is not the case of microorganisms. They are found everywhere and anywhere, isn't it students? So they are also found everywhere, ranging from ice cold climate to hot springs and deserts to marshy lands. So they are found also inside the bodies of animals, including human being. And some are microorganisms, they grow on other organisms, while others, they exist freely. So microorganisms like amoeba, they can live alone, they don't need anybody, but while fungi and bacteria, they live in colonies. Okay, so you can see here pictures of few of the organisms. Here I have shown the picture of curd. Why I have shown the picture of curd? This we can come to know later by performing the activities. We will have one activity based learning also. So there we can find why we have included covered also in our chapter. Okay, so students, there are 4 kinds of microorganisms you find: viruses, bacteria, fungi and protists. These are the types of microorganisms. Yes, so here there are mainly 4 types, that is bacteria, fungi, algae and protozoans. So basically, if you see viruses, nowadays you're so familiar with the coronavirus, right? So this virus is live only when it enters into the human being or into an organism. Otherwise it is a dead virus when it is outside the living body, right? So viruses are something who are alive only when they enter our body, because outside the body they are completely dead. So these viruses, they are also considered as what? Microorganisms, and they are different from other microorganisms because they reproduce only in the body of host organisms like bacteria, plants or animals including human beings. Okay, so if you see algae, examples are Chlamydomonas, Spirogyra, etc. If you take fungi is a very common example. It is found on the bread mold. You might have already done the experiment in class 7th, right? So fungi is one kind of example which is found on bread mold. Then Penicillium, Aspergillus, etc. Then protozoans like amoeba, paramecium, etc. Okay, so these are here pictures of different kinds of microorganisms which are found everywhere. So let us see one by one. So what are bacteria? See over here there are the pictures how the bacteria look like under the microscope. This is not visible with the naked eye. This is only visible under the microscope. Okay, so they are unicellular. They are available everywhere like air, water, soil, etc. And they are simple in structure. What are the different shapes? Either it is a rod shape, we call it as what? Bacilli. Spherical, we call it as what? Cocci. And spiral or spiralia. So here they are the different shapes of the bacteria. The next one is algae. So algae are either unicellular or they are also multicellular. They are present as unicellular also and they are present as multicellular also. So basically it is present in moist soil like rock, soil, etc. They have cell wall and chloroplast both. That is why they are able to prepare their own food, and they have no roots, no shoot and no leaves. Okay, so they are like, basically they are stick to the surface of the water or to the moist soil like rock or any other kind of soil. The next one is fungi. So fungi is also, it can be as unicellular or it can be also as multicellular, and they are plant like but they lack chloroplast in them, and that is why they are dependent on the other or on the other host bodies from where they take the nutrients. You have already studied about it, that is they share the symbiotic relationship, right? So they are the plants who lack the chloroplast and they get food from the plants and animal waste, that is from the decomposed material. Okay, so under fungi you can also take mushrooms, then yeast. These all are the examples of fungi. The next one is protozoa. Okay, so protozoa, they are the unicellular organisms. They are not multicellular, they are single celled organisms. They are found in the fresh water and the salt water. Okay, and they are the parasites. So organisms which live in or another organism and cause harmful, that is they are able to move from place to place, and they are called as what? Parasites. Why they are called as parasites? Yes students, because parasites means they are dependent on the other organisms for their food. They feed on the other organisms. They take the food from different organisms, and that is why they are called as what? Parasites. They can move from place to place. For example is amoeba and paramecium. These are the two examples. Here is the picture of amoeba, and here is the example of paramecium. The last one is viruses. Yes, so these viruses, they are borderline between either living and non-living, because we already know that viruses are alive only when they enter the living body, and when they are outside the living body, they are the inactive microorganisms. So when they enter the living body inside the host, they use host machinery for multiplication. Means if they enter into the human body, they take the human cells to multiply. They take the human organisms, the cells which are present in the human body, they take help of those cells and they go on multiplying. And that is why we may fall sick, isn't it? During rainy season, our immunity, if it is strong, we have stronger immunity, then we can fight with these viruses. But if we don't have strong immunity, then what happens? These viruses can kill us, isn't it? So your mother always tells you, your teachers also always tells you to have a healthy diet, isn't it? To have fruits in your meal, then to have different kind of leafy vegetables which will not allow the viruses to attack you at any cost. So it is also about the coronavirus, right? So if you have stronger immunity, then the virus will never attack you. So boost your immunity and try to fight with the viruses, isn't it? So students, when you see, if they are inside the host, they use the host machinery for multiplication in numbers, but when they are outside the host, they are inactive, or they have no activity. They are like a dead organism. So when they multiply the number of the viruses inside the body, they burst the host cell and the other cells also which are present, and because of this the person fall sick. I hope students you have gone through the video. I hope you understood the different types of organisms and how the microorganisms are useful and how they are harmful. We will study about this in our next class. Thank you students for watching this.